Hey everybody! In today's video we will be discussing about one of the main drivers of strength and hypertrophy, which is volume. What exactly is volume? There is a ton of nuance about what volume is, but a simple way of calculating it would be doing sets times reps times weight. To be noted, the volume needs to be backed by intensity in order to be effective. So the sets need to be challenging and we shouldn't isolate volume from intensity. Doing 12 reps of 200 pounds or 200 reps of 12 pounds are technically the same, but the difference comes from intensity, with intensity being the percentage of your 1 rep max. What is the right amount of volume? This is probably a bad question to ask because there is no standard way of going about this. For some people, 4 sets of 5 is considered high volume, but for others, it's not nearly enough work. It's just a matter of what you are used to. I've done as low as 6 sets for some muscles and as high as 25 sets in a week for other muscles and made good progress on both occasions. High volume is generally effective for muscle growth, but each individual should perform as much volume as possible within their limitations. We've all seen that guy in the gym that does 6 exercises for shoulders and every exercise is done for at least 5 sets. Have you wondered how is he able to do it? I'll tell you right now, he's not training nearly hard enough on any of those exercises because if he would be done after 1 or 2 exercises if using the right intensity and proximity to failure. So you should allocate more volume to the muscles you want to develop faster and better while keeping the others at maintenance. This is a muscle specialization phase. Volume and frequency are correlated, and even though there isn't much of a difference between training a muscle once or twice a week when total weekly volume is equal, but there is a difference when we speak about learning a new movement and getting more practice in. Doing the same exercise multiple times in a week and spreading your volume equally between the sessions will get you more accustomed to the movement and thus leading to faster strength and muscle gains. Now, I am feeling a bit hesitant to give you some numbers regarding the minimum effective volume and maximum recoverable volume because it's low specificity. So take those with a grain of salt and experiment for yourself. But here are some starting points for each muscle group. By the way, they will be purely based on my experience and with my clients. So for muscle growth, we have for quads 6 to 20 sets, 1 to 3 times a week. Hamstrings, 6 to 20 sets, 1 to 3 times a week. Glutes, 3 to 15 sets, 2 to 3 times a week. For calves, 6 to 20 sets, 3 to 4 times a week. For chest, 10 to 20 sets, 2 to 3 times a week. For back, 10 to 22 plus sets, 2 to 4 times a week. Posterior side delts, 6 to 24 plus sets, 2 to 4 times a week. Front delts, 3 to 12 sets, 1 to 2 times a week. For biceps, 6 to 22 plus sets, 2 to 6 times a week. For triceps, 6 sets to 18 sets, 2 to 4 times a week. Forearms, 6 to 20 plus sets, 1 to 3 times a week. And for abs, 9 to 25 plus sets, 2 to 4 times a week. Now you're probably asking yourself, should you count volume from compound lifts? Well, I personally don't count volume from compound lifts because I think it's necessary to do direct muscle work in order to get the best performance and appearance, and it's hard to keep track of in the first place. So you will develop the muscles that get targeted by doing compound movements, but don't get fooled. It's not gonna be enough. Some people say just do bench press and your triceps and shoulders will explode. Not necessarily. They might, but only if you're a beginner, and once you get past that stage, you will need to do direct muscle work. Now, for some practical recommendations, increasing volume session to session, week to week, or cycle to cycle can be a good way of making progress. Volume can be increased by either adding reps or adding sets, with the latter making much bigger impact on progress because it's easier to implement than just adding reps to individual sets, because some people can run into fatigue issues. Doing high volume is optimal for strength because of the practice factor and getting accustomed to the mechanics of a movement. High volume can be done for compound movements, but it requires more care and programming to be able to do it in a sustainable way. But it will absolutely get you huge and strong, and it will also increase your workload capacity. It can be applied for strength gains because most of the beginner and intermediate programs lack in volume, and you need to find a way to accumulate more volume in order to keep getting stronger. For example, after you've done your top max effort set of the day, you can incorporate back off sets at a lower percentage, for example 60% of your 1 rep max, and do 3 to 5 sets. You will see that you will be getting stronger and stronger when compared to just doing high intensity, low rep sets where volume is lacking. Another consideration is that for someone that wants to lose weight, doing more work in the gym can be a good way to achieve their goals instead of eating less. For someone that likes training hard and still have good energy levels, eating less is not going to be an option. But if you still want to lose some weight, this is going to be a good approach. A good approach for individuals to take a break from hard training phases is to cycle volume and intensity. In the end, more advanced individuals can tolerate higher volume better, but for most of us, around 6 to 12 hard sets per muscle group per session. But as we discussed, this should not be generalized. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked it, and feel free to comment down below if you have any questions. Now get your ass in the gym.